Most of us feel overwhelmed by the amount of information in our lives. There are articles to read, podcasts to listen to, videos to watch, and notes from work or personal projects that pile up everywhere. The truth is, we're not built to remember everything. Our brains are good for having ideas, not for storing endless details. That's why creating a system to store, organize, and use this information is powerful. Imagine if every note you took, every quote you saved, and every idea you had was organized in a way that you could find and use it easily when you needed it. This is what building a second brain means: creating an external system to support your real brain so it can focus on thinking, creating, and deciding, instead of holding information that might be forgotten. One of the main ideas is to capture information as it comes to you. Instead of thinking, "I'll remember this later," build the habit of writing it down immediately. This could be a thought you had while walking, a strategy you heard on a podcast, or a sentence that inspired you from a book. Capture it in your phone notes, a notebook, or an app. The key is to collect these small pieces of information before they disappear from your mind. Most of us think we will remember important things. But the truth is that our brain is constantly filtering information, and without writing it down, it's gone. By capturing these ideas, you're building a library of knowledge that will grow every day. After capturing comes organizing. Capturing alone is not enough if everything sits in a messy pile. Organizing doesn't have to be complicated. You can use simple categories that match your life and work. For example, if you work in marketing, you might have folders for content ideas, strategies, and campaigns. If you're a student, you can have folders for each subject. The goal is to find what you need in seconds. One useful method is to organize by projects instead of topics. For example, if you're planning a presentation, gather all related notes under that project folder. This way, your knowledge becomes useful because it's placed where you can act on it, not just where you can store it. Finally, the power of building a second brain comes when you use what you've saved. Many people capture and organize, but never return to their notes. Make it a habit to review what you've saved. Before starting a new project, look at your related folders for ideas and references. Before writing an article or creating a video, scan your notes for quotes or insights to include. This habit turns your saved information into tools that support your creativity and decisions. Your second brain becomes a living system that grows with you and supports you daily, reducing stress and freeing your real brain to focus on what it does best: thinking, creating, and solving problems. Many people think building a second brain is just about being organized, but it's really about creating freedom. When your mind isn't filled with scattered notes and half-remembered ideas, it feels lighter. You feel calmer knowing everything important is safely stored and easy to find. This frees up mental energy for creativity and focus. Imagine sitting down to write an important email or prepare a presentation and having all your notes ready to use, instead of wasting time searching through old files or trying to remember what you read last week. This reduces stress and makes your work feel smoother and faster because you're working with clarity, not confusion. One useful idea is to save information not just because it's interesting, but because it is actionable or meaningful to you. Ask yourself, how will I use this? before you save anything. For example, if you read a quote that inspires you, think about where you might use it. Maybe in your writing, speeches, or as a daily reminder to stay focused. If you find a strategy in a business podcast, save it under the specific project it can improve. This makes your second brain practical instead of becoming a junk drawer of random thoughts. The goal is to collect things that will support your future actions and growth, not just things that are nice to have. Another important part of building your second brain is to keep it simple. Many people give up because they overcomplicate their system. You don't need 20 folders or 5 different apps. Start with one app or notebook. Create simple categories like health, work, learning, and personal. As you get used to capturing and organizing, you can refine your categories based on your life and goals. Remember, your second brain is meant to serve you, not to become another stressful task. If it feels complicated, simplify it until you feel it's easy to maintain daily. The easier it is, the more you will use it, and the more valuable it will become. Review is the habit that keeps your second brain alive. Set aside a few minutes each week to go through your notes and see what still matters, what can be deleted, and what needs to be moved to a project folder. This weekly review keeps your system fresh and prevents clutter from building up. It also reminds you of ideas you may have forgotten, sparking creativity and action. Treat your second brain like a garden. Capture the seeds, organize the plants, and review to keep it healthy. When you do this consistently, your mind will feel clear and your days will feel more organized, creative, and productive. One of the most powerful ideas is that your second brain is not just for work. It can support your entire life. For example, you can use it to save health tips you want to try, recipes you enjoy, workout plans, or life lessons you've learned. If you're reading a book and a line inspires you, save it with a note on how it connects to your life. If you hear advice from a friend that feels important, write it down. This way, your second brain becomes a personal library of wisdom, not just a work tool. Over time, it becomes a place you go to for motivation, clarity, and confidence whenever you need it most. Another important mindset shift is to see your second brain as a partner, not just a storage system. It's not there to hold information and sit quietly. It's there to actively support you. Before starting any new task, project, or decision, ask yourself, what does my second brain have to help me here? For example, if you're writing a presentation, look into your notes for quotes, examples, or data you saved earlier. If you're feeling stuck in life, go through your saved insights or lessons that once inspired you. This habit makes you realize how much knowledge you've already gathered and how it can push you forward whenever you feel blocked. It's also powerful to build your second brain in small daily actions instead of trying to organize everything at once. Spend a few minutes each day capturing something new, organizing one folder, or reviewing a section. This keeps the process light and sustainable. Trying to build your entire system in one day can be overwhelming and make you quit. Remember, your second brain grows like a tree, slowly, with small daily care. Each note or idea you save is like adding a leaf, and over time, it becomes strong enough to support your biggest goals and dreams without feeling like a burden. One of the best uses of your second brain is for creativity. Many people think creativity comes from a flash of inspiration, but often it comes from connecting ideas you've collected over time. When you save thoughts, quotes, strategies, and stories, you create a pool of ideas that your mind can combine in new ways. For example, a quote you saved last month might connect with a podcast note you saved today to create a powerful idea for your business or project. Your second brain becomes a place where old and new knowledge mix to create something original. This makes your creative process easier and more powerful because you're never starting from zero. Another key idea is to keep your second brain organized in a way that makes sense for your life, not based on what others say is the best method. Some people prefer organizing by topic like health, finance, work, and learning. Others find it easier to organize by projects like marketing campaign, website redesign, or trip planning. The right choice is the one that feels natural and saves you time when searching for what you need. If you feel stuck deciding, start with simple categories and adjust as you use them. Your system is alive, and it should grow and change with you as your life and work evolve. A helpful practice is to name your notes and folders clearly. Avoid naming them with vague words like random thoughts or miscellaneous. Instead, use names that tell you exactly what's inside. For example, instead of work notes, write Q3 marketing strategies or client presentation ideas. This saves you mental energy later because you don't have to open each note to find what you're looking for. Clear names make your second brain easy to use, and the easier it is, the more you will rely on it daily. Over time, this builds a habit of clarity not only in your notes, but also in your thinking and decisions. Many people struggle with the fear of missing out on information, so they save everything. But collecting too much without purpose turns your second brain into a messy closet where you can't find anything. To avoid this, remember that your second brain is not about keeping everything forever. It's about keeping what is useful, meaningful, and actionable. If you save something and never look at it again, ask yourself why. If it doesn't serve you, delete it. Letting go of unnecessary notes keeps your system light and useful. The value of your second brain comes from how easily it helps you find what matters, not how much it stores. Remember that building a second brain is not just about being productive. It's about feeling calm and clear in your daily life. When you know that all your ideas, plans, and knowledge are safely stored and organized, you carry less mental weight. This feeling of lightness makes you more confident and creative because your mind is free to think deeply instead of trying to remember small details. You start to trust yourself more, knowing you have a reliable system that supports you. This confidence shows in your work, your conversations, and your decisions, making you feel stronger and more focused each day. One of the most useful habits is to process your captured notes regularly instead of letting them pile up. Processing means taking a quick look at what you saved and deciding what to do with it. Ask yourself simple questions. Is this still useful? Where does it belong? Does it need action or just storage? For example, if you saved a podcast idea, place it under your content creation folder. If you saved a quote that inspired you, move it to your inspiration folder. Processing notes keeps your second brain clean and organized. Without this habit, your notes will become a long list of random thoughts that overwhelm instead of support you. Another powerful method is to distill your notes. Distilling means shortening and simplifying what you saved so it's easier to use later. For example, If you took 2 pages of notes from a video, review them and highlight the main ideas in a few lines. This way, when you come back to them weeks later, you don't need to read everything again. You'll see the core insights immediately. This habit saves you time and trains your mind to focus on what truly matters. The goal is not to keep everything, but to keep the golden pieces that will make your work and life easier and clearer. It's also important to connect your notes. Many people save notes in separate folders but never link them. Connection creates meaning. For example, if you saved an idea about marketing psychology, link it to your marketing strategy folder. If you saved a quote about discipline, link it to your goals or habits folder. This creates a network of knowledge that supports your thinking. Over time, your second brain becomes like a map where each idea leads to another, sparking creativity and deeper understanding. Connecting notes helps you see patterns and build wisdom from the knowledge you've collected. Remember that your second brain is not about perfection. It's about progress. Don't worry if your system isn't perfect at the start. Focus on building the habit of capturing, organizing, reviewing, and using your notes. As you practice daily, your system will naturally improve. The real success is not having a flawless second brain, but having a living tool that supports you in your goals and dreams. When you treat it as your silent partner, it will always be there to remind you of what you've learned, inspire your next steps, and keep your mind clear to focus on what truly matters. The key part of building a second brain is creating a habit of revisiting your old notes. Often we save things and never look at them again. Set a time each week or month to review your notes. This doesn't have to be long. Spend 10 or 15 minutes scrolling through your folders to see what still feels useful or inspiring. You might find an idea you saved months ago that is perfect for a project you're working on now. Revisiting your notes helps you connect past thoughts with current goals, giving you fresh motivation and saving you time, thinking up ideas from scratch. A useful part of building your second brain is learning to trust it. Many people keep thinking about tasks or ideas even after writing them down because they don't fully trust their system yet. This defeats the purpose. The goal is to free your mind from holding on to everything. When you capture an idea, note, or task in your second brain, tell yourself, "It's safe now. I don't need to think about it until I need it." This simple reminder helps you relax and stay focused on what you're doing in the moment, instead of worrying about remembering everything later. Trusting your system is what makes it truly powerful. Another important practice is to keep your second brain mobile-friendly. We get ideas at unexpected times while walking, waiting in line, or during a conversation. Using an app on your phone to capture these ideas immediately prevents them from being lost. It doesn't have to be fancy. Even the simple Notes app works. The key is speed. The faster you capture an idea, the more likely it is to stay alive in your system. Later, you can move it to the right folder or category when you have time. The goal is to never let a good thought slip away just because you weren't near your laptop or notebook. It's also helpful to create templates for things you do often. For example, if you regularly write blog posts, create a blog post template with sections like introduction, main points, and conclusion. If you create social media content, make a checklist template for your posting process. Templates save time and mental energy because you're not starting from zero each time. Your second brain becomes not just a place to store information, but also a toolkit that speeds up your work. Over time, these small systems create a smooth flow in your daily tasks, making you feel more organized and confident in your routines. Your second brain is about creating more ease and flow in your life. It's not about control or perfection. Some days you'll capture a lot. Other days, nothing at all. Some weeks you'll organize deeply. Other weeks, you'll just use what's already there. This is normal. The goal is consistency, not perfection. As long as you keep returning to your system and letting it support you, it will continue to grow and serve you better each day. This mindset keeps the process enjoyable and sustainable, making your second brain a lifelong companion in your growth, learning, and creativity. Most powerful parts of your second brain is how it helps you make decisions faster and with more confidence. Many people spend hours thinking through options, forgetting that they've already learned things that can help them decide. When you have a system filled with insights, quotes, strategies, and experiences you've captured over time, you can go back and review what you've learned before. This makes choosing your next step easier because you're not relying only on memory. You're using a collection of your best thinking and the knowledge you've gathered from books, podcasts, mentors, and your own life experiences. Another helpful idea is to use your second brain as a place to think clearly when life feels confusing. Often, we keep worries or plans in our mind without writing them down. This creates stress because thoughts feel bigger and messier in your head. When you write them down, you see them more clearly. For example, if you're feeling anxious about a decision, write down the options and list the pros and cons for each one in your notes. If you're feeling lost about your goals, write down everything you want and then organize them by priority. This habit of thinking on paper through your second brain calms your mind and turns confusion into clarity. It's also useful to store lessons from your failures. Many people only keep notes on success tips, but storing what didn't work is just as powerful. For example, if you tried a business strategy that failed, write down what happened and why it didn't work. If you had a conversation that went badly, write down what you learned about communication for next time. These lessons are like guideposts that save you from repeating the same mistakes. Over time, your second brain becomes not only a library of inspiration, but also a map of lessons that guide you forward with wisdom and maturity in everything you do. Your second brain is unique to you. It should reflect your goals, your dreams, and your ways of thinking. Don't try to copy someone else's system completely. Learn from them, take what works for you, and adjust it to fit your life. Your folders, your categories, your templates, they should make sense for your world. When your second brain feels personal, you will enjoy using it more, and it will naturally grow with you as you grow. This personal touch makes it a true extension of yourself, supporting you like a quiet partner in every step of your journey. Another powerful use of your second brain is to build what you might call your idea bank. This is a collection of thoughts, quotes, strategies, and personal reflections that you can draw from whenever you're creating something. For example, if you're writing a report, creating a video, or preparing a presentation, your idea bank gives you ready insights to include. Instead of starting with a blank page and feeling stressed, you open your idea bank and pick pieces that fit your project. This makes your work faster, easier, and richer with knowledge, because you're not creating everything from scratch every time. You're building on a strong foundation you've gathered over time. It's also helpful to keep your second brain organized in a way that lets you see your top priorities easily. For example, you can create a folder or note called Current Focus, where you keep your top 3 to 5 priorities. This way, when you open your notes, you see what's most important right away, instead of getting lost in hundreds of other ideas. This small practice keeps you aligned with your goals daily and prevents distraction. Over time, it builds strong focus because you're training your mind to stay clear on what truly matters instead of chasing every small task or idea that comes up. The beauty of having a second brain is that it grows with you. What you capture today might become useful in a month, a year, or even longer. Sometimes, ideas you thought were unimportant become powerful when your goals change. For example, a note you saved about meditation might feel small now, but later it could become the foundation for a healthier routine during stressful times. Your second brain is a record of your growth. Looking back, you will see how your thinking has evolved, what you used to focus on, and how your dreams have changed. This reflection builds self-awareness and gives you confidence in your journey. It's also important to use your second brain to share knowledge with others. When you have organized notes, it's easier to teach, mentor, or support people around you. For example, if someone asks for advice on productivity, you can open your notes and share powerful tips you've saved over time. If you're working in a team, your clear notes can guide projects smoothly. This makes you a valuable resource to others because you're not only learning for yourself, but you're also building a library of wisdom that benefits everyone you work or live with. Knowledge multiplies when it's shared, and your second brain helps you do this effortlessly. Another way to keep your second brain alive is to add your reflections to what you capture. Don't just save a quote. Write what it means to you. Don't just save a strategy. Write how you plan to use it. These reflections turn passive notes into active knowledge that shapes your actions and decisions. It also makes reviewing your notes more meaningful because you're reading your thoughts, not just someone else's words. Over time, this builds your unique perspective on life, work, and growth, making your second brain not only a storage system, but a reflection of who you are becoming. Finally, always remember the purpose of building a second brain is freedom. It frees your mind from holding on to every small detail. It frees your time by making your work smoother. And it frees your creativity by giving you ideas ready to use. It helps you focus on what matters, make decisions with confidence, and live with clarity. Your second brain is not just a tool. It is your silent partner that grows with you, supports you daily, and holds your knowledge, dreams, and ideas safely, so your real brain can do what it does best: think deeply, create boldly, and live fully.